then you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. Waiting in the front yard, sitting on a lawn.
Hello and welcome to Gypsy's Kiss. It's Hump Day Hoedown and I'm Shelley Carney.
In the moonlight, Louisiana Saturday night. Well, you get down.
And I'm Toby Younis. We had lots to do tonight. We got some emails to read, texts to read. Say hello to the room. We'll do some emails, some voicemails, and then we'll have you guys call in. We'll make some good times.
Guess what day it is? Julie. Huh? Julie. Guess what day it is? Julie. Huh? Julie. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Come on, I know you can hear me. Anybody? Huh? Woo-hoo! Mike. What day is it, Mike? Anybody? Julie. Huh? Julie. Hey, guess what day it is? Julie. Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's Hump Day.
Woo-hoo! Hump Day! Hump Day! Hump Day!
Mike.
Hump Day!
Okay, let me
Housekeeping, you want towel?
pass out the towels. Why? Again, it's louder than Jiminy.
I don't know, every time you mess with it.
Okay. A couple of things. Number one, before you leave this evening, we hope you take a moment just to like our video because YouTube likes it when you like our video. And of course, we want you to share it with your family members, your friends, your significant others, your secret lovers, your next door neighbors, your business associates, and anyone in your social network who you might think would benefit from just having us in their living room. And then finally, what? What was all that? I missed that. Finally, if you're not already a subscriber, this would be literally the perfect time to subscribe because that way when we start a new live stream or we announce a live stream, you will be immediately informed. Don't forget to click on that notifications bell because that's how that whole inform you thing works.
Okay. And as you can see, Rick Plank has done the little @ capital A space Gypsy's Kiss, and he did it perfectly and it lit up in orange for us so we could see that really well. So if you want to know how to get your message noticed, make sure you do the @ at Gypsy's Kiss, or you can find that little stylized $sign at the bottom of the chat and click on that to do a little super chat, add a few cha-chings to the super chat, and
sounds like this.
And we'll celebrate that. We will read your question or comment and appreciate your generosity.
And if you are going to go through all the trouble of giving us a super chat, make sure you ask a question because it highlights it up there. We can't pass it up in any way, shape, or form. Also, if you have some other questions, I'm going to start reading our text messages and listening to our voicemails because we have a bunch of them to get through tonight. We really have a sense we're not going to get through all our emails tonight. But before I do anything else, I do want to make an announcement. For those of you that might have visited Dale Neitzel's site today, somebody in the Treasure Hunt Odds and Ends forum, part of that site, who signed their name Forrest Fenn, or it says Forrest Fenn on May 8th. Says the treasure was found 8.25 miles north of Santa Fe. Video will, badly spelled, bad punctuation, bad, what is that? Misspelling.
Video will
be posted on another site for those that have not solved the poem free of charge. Thank you. I think there was supposed to be a comment there, Forrest, ! And it's signed with a capital F. There's nothing about this that tells me that's Forrest Fenn. I guarantee you it's not. I'm so certain I can guarantee you that Christy let me know soon after this that she had checked with Fenn and that this is hokey. So I'm surprised. I'm willing to bet that if you were to go back and look for it now, it would be, it's disappeared because the moment that Dale Neitzel found out about it, it would be removed from his website. So
and
don't
look at that.
trust that. What? Starly Start, Alan K.
Starting the super chat off with a bang.
Full page color. We do indeed.
That's right.
And here's what's interesting: the more you donate, the hotter the colors get.
Yeah,
because they start in the cool colors,
hot.
and they go all the way up to hot red, baby.
Yeah, red.
Yeah, which is Shelley's favorite color, by the way.
My toenails are red. And so here's a picture on the wall that I took. Look at that. That's from our vacation last August. We were up at the, this is not the Rio de los Pinos. This is actually the Conejos.
Yeah.
And Toby was fishing on one side, Kevin was fishing on the other side, and I was in the middle, like reading my book. And every now and then I'd take a picture, and every now and then a little squirrel would come by and try to.
I actually have a picture of you reading your book. I'll put that on next week, next show.
So that's just in the very southern part of Colorado. Real pretty.
It's beautiful.
And that was in August.
And that's I was French nymphing there on the Conejos. Beautiful little stream.
Oh.
What?
Julie wants to know about my necklace. So this necklace is a double eagle?
I need to see the other side. No.
What is it?
It's an eagle.
It's an eagle.
$10 gold coin.
From 18...
$10 gold coin from, I can't. The gold coins aren't dated.
Oh.
They're not dated and they don't
I
have
thought it was from the 1800s, but I don't know.
No, they made them up until 1932.
No, there's a number right there.
Is there? Oh, 18... What? Lean over a little further. 1882.
Okay, there you go. 1882.
Yeah.
That was probably just before my grandfather was born.
Oh.
Anyway, this was a gift from my father-in-law to my mother-in-law. They both have passed on now, and I kind of grabbed onto it and started wearing it.
Okay, Eric Smith says it's a double eagle.
Double eagle. There you go. See? And it's been in the family for a little while, so it's a family heirloom, sort of.
Bo says, Shelley, that's a pretty good picture. The overcast helped out there. Yeah, it was, because there's no highlights and shadows. It was an overcast day.
It was. It rained
and it was
off
cool.
and
As a matter of fact, she was sitting in her chair and she was wrapped. She had her
my jacket on
and she was wrapped in a blanket while she was reading.
Yeah.
But we had decided we were there. We were going to fish. We were going to trout
fish. And they
fish.
tried.
We tried like
they did the
dickens.
actual fishing, but they didn't catch anything.
Well, and everybody we talked to kept saying it had been the worst season in years. The waters were too high. The waters too low. Too low.
Too low.
And you can see
droughty.
that rock that I'm standing on would have normally been covered by the river. That's how low the water was. And it was hot. It was warm. And trout don't like warm waters. Okay, let's read some text messages, and then we'll go back and say hi to the room. Starting with, this was received last Saturday, no name, no location. Remember that if you're going to send us a text message to the 866-597... Say again? Okay, yes.
You have texts.
Wait. If you're going to send us a text message, make sure you include your name and the state in which you are located. Here's text time.
And if you do want to send us a text, there's the number, 866-597-9901.
Yeah, you know what? Wait, it's this thumb. No, that's actually a second injury. The first injury is...
Re-injured the same injury.
Yeah, the first injury is over here, the one where I cut myself pretty deep. This was a new damned injury. It was a terrible weekend for injuries.
But we had fun anyway.
Is that visible? Yeah, new injury. I'm going to get... So this is from... a New Mexico number. I'm going to get indulgence once I retrieve the stash. What is your input on what should I do with it first? This is not a feeble attempt at attention or silly publicity stunt. It's the real deal, and I want your input. Well, first, you pack it up, put it in the trunk of your car, and drive to the nearest open bank and lease a safe deposit box and put in that safe deposit box. Then you shut up, go home. The soonest you can, call an attorney that specializes in tax law there aren't a lot of attorneys that specialize in treasure law, but if you tell them the problem, they will find attorneys to help you. But you want to resolve the tax issues first. You want to make sure you speak with an attorney about that, and then an accountant. And then as soon as you've spoken with them, you let Fenn know that you've found the treasure, and he's going to want some evidence. So what you want to do is take a picture of, the olive jar and the bracelet on top of a current day's newspaper and send him that photograph, and then give him instructions as to what you want to do after that. If you want to remain anonymous, let him know that. If you don't want the location of the treasure revealed, let them know that. So, but that should be right in the first couple of steps you should perform.
No, if it's
Anything
after
else?
Fenn has passed away, then you can just notify the media anonymously with
Call,
that same picture.
Contact Margie Goldsmith. She'd get a big kick out of that. So this text is linked to that Louisville Insider Lifestyle article. We're going to talk about that later, so I won't read this because it's basically just the link. So this is, hang on, let me see. These are voicemails from George. So he said, scratch the last call. Hang on, I got to go through because George always is going through. Okay, so in the call before that, he said he was looking for someone. In this call, he says he's not, but here's one. Okay, so we're going to play a George voicemail here. George.
Hi, Toby. It's me, George. I'm just wondering, does anyone know how to contact Mr. Fenn? I mean, can you call him or text him, or does he respond to emails? I'm not sure, but if you do know, or if you know anybody that does, would you please tell me? You can call me back if you want on this number, or just if it's okay to say it over the air. I don't know, but I was wondering if you had any information on that. Okay, thank you, Toby. Bye.
George, the best way to reach Forrest is via email at forrestfenn@gmail.com. Tell him what you need or want, and he will either respond to you or not. It is likely he's at a stage in his life where he's responding to a very small percentage of emails. It is unlikely that he will provide you a phone number. And I don't know necessarily, I don't even know if he has a cell phone, so he may not even be able to text for all I know. Does he have a cell phone? Do you remember?
I don't know. Ask Christy.
Christy, yeah, Christy, does Fenn have a cell phone? Anyway, I don't have any of those numbers. I have his email address, and that's the only thing I've ever offered to give out because that's in the public domain anyway. Okay, hi Toby and Shelley. This is Bo Walker, our friend from Utah. Does Forrest ever mention what type or stage of kidney cancer he had? Did he mention anything about having tuberculosis of the kidney?
As far as I know, it was just cancer. He didn't say anything about tuberculosis.
He never mentioned either the type of cancer other than that it was cancer. And I'm not even sure he mentions that it was kidney cancer. He doesn't say it was kidney cancer, right?
I think he does.
Does he?
Yeah.
Because how did we find out he lost his kidney?
Did
he say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had to do the operation, and it turned out to be a really long one, and they had to remove the kidney.
Yeah. But he's never said what type of cancer. I didn't know. I don't know enough about cancer to even, suggest alternatives. But the word tuberculosis has never come up in the conversation about cancers.
Jason says no cell phone.
No cell phone, yeah. That does not surprise me. Okay, voicemail from, I don't know, let's see.
Hello. You remember me? This is old friend. I believe last time I spoke with you, I told you, it would be a long time before I was able to contact you. I had a job to do, and I was going to need some help remembering my place when I got back. So how about calling me 910-228-6672? I'm the one that created that big picture.
Big picture.
Thank you.
So one last reminder, if you're leaving us a voicemail, please, I don't give your phone number because I can see all your phone numbers up here, but I don't give out your phone number. So it is wiser for you not to mention your phone number in the voicemail, okay? Okay. So this is from 505, no name. So I take it you don't want to do coffee for the third time. It was you that suggested we do that after I did the interview. Do you always go back on your word? Only to people who I feel are being overtly passive-aggressive.
And who was that from?
Doesn't say.
Oh.
That's part of being passive-aggressive, isn't it? Okay, voicemail. Voicemail, no name. Area code 607.
Hey, could you tell me, I haven't watched all your videos. I love your videos. But you only started watching them a week or so ago. Why did you stop looking in the Yellowstone area and head back into New Mexico? Thank you.
Okay, you want to answer that?
The closest we got to Yellowstone was Lander, Wyoming, and we never went any further than that towards Yellowstone. And we went to Lander because it was mentioned in the book that Fenn liked the Popo Aggie, or the Poposia, as it's called in Lander. And he said that he had stopped at the airport there, and he did some hunting for arrowheads and that sort of thing. So we decided to go to Lander, Wyoming. And after we checked that out and looked around Sinks Canyon and the Middle Poposia, we determined that it was too people-y to have hidden a treasure very easily in that area, and we came back home.
That the Poposia, his trip to Lander and the Poposia actually comes up in that interview that Jason Dent uploaded last week. He mentions it a couple of times and still mispronounces Popo. So 607, I didn't get your name, but yeah, we were...
I think he said it right at the very beginning, but we missed it. Something Wolf, it sounded like.
Let me try it again.
Hi, this is Jim Wolf. Hey,
Jim Wolf.
Could you tell me,
So, Jim, we never had a serious solution for Yellowstone.
Yeah, well, we did make a video about the first 5 clues, but that was just, a video. We never went there.
Somebody's sending us a...
Sending us a text, voicemail.
So it says, call me what? W-H-U-T. Check Dale's hyperlink. And it's daleneitzel.com/tag/Mogollon. Go to the bottom, Mogollon. Go to the bottom, page 99 is, uppercase, a map. This solve explains indulgence/reasons he did it. Go with confidence, focus on words, searchers close but walked by, and many more hints, but the clues come completely from the poem. Yes, they do.
Are we talking about Mogollon Rim?
Yeah.
That's Arizona, isn't it?
No, because there's something up here in New Mexico as well.
Oh, okay.
Joel Lewicki. Oh, that's an answered call from Joel this afternoon. Let's see. This is from area code 850. No name. A friend to Fenn told me something that I consider very important. I explained my solution to his friend, and he said Forrest doesn't think in the complex terms that you are describing. My solution was fairly complex. He told me Fenn is a much simpler thinker than most people realize. And I didn't write that. Sounds like I did. But that came, when was that? Oh, it was after our show this afternoon.
Confirmation.
Confirmation bias, at least. Okay, answered call. Oh, there's Jason Younis. Answered call. Hello, Shelley and Toby, all involved in the thrill of the chase. Great show. Thank you. From area code 951. That's all he said.
Nice.
Howdy, Shelley and Toby. Do either of you think the blaze has anything to do with, quote, uppercase, pride, unquote, question marks? Thanks, J.A. Street. J.A. Street, thank you for putting your name on the darn thing. Do you think the blaze has anything to do with pride?
I don't think so, because pride is an intangible, and
The blaze is
The
tangible.
blaze is tangible. That's my take on it.
I'm going to go with her take on it.
Pride is intangible and the blaze is tangible. I didn't say it very loudly, so you may have missed it.
From area code 734, George V. in Michigan. Oh, this is a different George. I'm really enjoying today's video. The message transcends more than just the treasure it can apply to when a person is at a crossroads in their life. This talk about risk-taking, knowledge, and imagination was enjoyable. I'm only about 20 minutes into the video, but had to stop and send this. Thank you both. George V. in Michigan.
My goodness.
I'm saving
Getting lots
that.
of love today.
Man, I am saving that one. I'm going to put on the wall.
Yeah.
Let's see. Got number from YouTube video. Who am I texting? I reply, a gypsy's kiss. Would that be Toby or Shelley? I was hoping to get Forrest Fenn's email to get his reaction to my solve. You wouldn't have been the first. And as I said earlier in the program, his email address is forrestfenn@gmail.com. Please send him your solve, and don't be disappointed if he doesn't respond, because he's moved on from that. Tuna, it looks like a
Tenarth.
Tenarth, saying hi from Northridge, California. Just saying hi.
Hey.
It sounds like a Viking name.
Yeah, like on Game of Thrones, Tormund.
Me to North, you die.
It could have been Tormund's twin brother,
Oh,
Tenarth.
dang, no, we got a voicemail, but it doesn't have a transcription, so we're just going to have to play it blind.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Be
Ready?
careful.
So I'll be ready to cut it off at any minute. Be ready to press that button right there.
You are?
No, you're ready. That's
Which
your
one?
job.
Number 3 mute?
No, caller 4,
Oh, 4 mute?
mute. Okay. If it starts getting haywire.
Fingers on the button.
He got in a deep breath. That was it.
That's why there was no transcription of it.
That's why there was no transcription. Okay, phone, text messages, voicemails are done for right now. If you guys have additional text messages, please send them to 866-597-9901. Remember to include at least your first name, so we have something other to call you other than "Hey you," and let us know what state you're calling from, because I don't have all the area codes memorized, unfortunately. That really is a bad thumb, isn't it? Well,
Bad thumb.
thankfully, it's my left thumb,
If you only had an alien
is-
from Roswell to heal it
which is
for
not
you.
my ear-scratching thumb. What did you say?
I said if only you had an alien from Roswell with healing abilities.
Oh, would that be great?
Yeah.
I just saw Shelley and I were killing some time between the first show and this show, and I was making dinner, and I said, Dad, throw something on the old television screen. And she started playing Roswell, which I didn't know was a series. I don't watch commercial TV. But she has it
It's
on
on
Netflix.
Netflix,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I started watching it, and it looks damned interesting, doesn't it? It's got a great
And it's
storyline.
filmed in New Mexico, so that's fun.
Don't spoil the story. Okay, here's another voicemail. Hang on.
Hi, Toby. I'll be going by Mr. Anonymous this evening. I'm just curious if these voicemails are read live as of tonight. I have some further things I'd like to talk to you about. I'll call back a little bit later. I'm watching live right now. Thank you.
Yeah, we can
hear
hear
our
it.
voices in
Don't
the
forget
background.
when we do open up the phone lines and you decide to call, turn off your audio first. Otherwise, it's going to cause some
Feedback loop.
unwanted feedback. But yeah, I want to remind everybody that, as we said this afternoon, if you send us an email or a text, we will read it on the air, irrespective of whether you tell us to or not. We'll do that,
Because sharing is caring.
because sharing is caring.
That's right.
Wait a minute, I got another one. Did Fenn create the blaze? Name, location, help me out here. Did Fenn create the blaze, or was it natural and already present? We don't know for certain, but we imagine that it was natural.
Yeah, he
Because
says
something
nothing's
natural
associated with a structure.
with a man-made structure.
None of the
So
clues.
None of the clues are associated with a man-made structure. Him having made it would have been man-made, although we could qualify it and say it was Fenn-made. But it's still a man-made structure, and so we think the blaze is most likely something natural rather than something person-made, which is the... ready?
Yeah. before it disappears. That was for Jeff Anschultz, $4.99, saying hello, all you happy people from Droopy.
Droopy. Didn't know Droopy. I didn't know he had a hit name.
The next dwarf that is the movie.
So right now, Jeff is leading this competition for Safe Chat. Make sure, don't let him get away by that. You know.
Oh yeah, you gotta beat him.
What did you call it last week? The
Super Chat Challenge.
Super Chat Challenge. We're just making this stuff up.
Super Chat Challenge.
Ding ding.
We got a ding ding.
Okay, I am done with text messages for right now.
Let's get our Moo to say hi.
Moo say hi. Moo say hi. I forgot what I called that. What did I call
Hello,
that?
chat room.
Oh, okay.
Help from the other side.
Back to us.
Short and sweet.
How far back can you go up?
I am at 655. Point B.
I'm at 706, so go ahead.
Okay. So we have...
Let me know when you get to Tony Rusi and Tony Driver.
Okay. We have our friends in the room tonight. Point B, Tony Rusi. I just got to Tony Rusi.
Yeah, but do Tony when you're at Tony Rusi plus Tony Driver.
I see.
That's 706. Tell me when you get to 706.
Okay. The hidden one, ID Russian, Denise Baker, Mr. Anonymous, Full Press, there's a new name, AJ Rainville, Jan Curb, two Illinois Ghost in the room, hello, Davio.
Although, Davio, considering a couple of emails that I got over the past couple of days,
I may have to... nearly weird enough for that music anymore.
I have to... I'm going to steal your music and share it with somebody else in a minute.
Oh, we got another super chat. Cha-ching!
From...
Steve Gahagan. Super chat challenge accepted. All right. Who can go 501?
Yeah, who can do 5?
All right. Jason Dent's in the room. And we have Easy Peasy, hello. Michael Hole's in there.
Hey, Michael. You back in Tokyo? We had a great visit with Michael, and we really enjoyed the time we spent with him.
Yeah.
As did Cynthia.
Yeah.
As we did with Cynthia.
Of course. Lydia D. And I bet he'll be discreet and not talk about how many times you spilled your champagne.
It was those new glasses.
Did we just get another $4.99?
We did. From Jan Schultz. Well, wait. My
Dueling Banjos.
Is Dueling Banjos. Thanks. Okay. Let me write that down.
All right.
Go. Keep going.
Another cha-ching. For Jay Anschultz. Jeff Anschultz. All right. And then we have, I said Jan Curb, Bo Walker. Hey, guys. Jingo Bingo. Hey. So... Christian the Great from Philadelphia. Tunarth. Hey, Tunarth's in the room. 501. We got a 501 super chat.
Is that from
Copper Dan?
Copper Dan. Thank you, Copper Dan.
Super chat challenge.
Copper Dan. You know what you need to do, Copper Dan, when you get a chance? Send me a picture, a photograph of one of your pieces, and I'll put it in our background one of these times.
Yeah.
Are you at 7:06 yet?
Thrill of the Treasure. I'm at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Evan Penn says howdy. Steve Gahagan.
Oh, Evan Penn. Check the comments from the was it last video? Evan Penn had some great comments in the last video. It was really good.
Today?
Yeah.
All right. Bill Cross from Texas. And William is here. Does William have a song?
William does have a song. No, you know what? William, I'm going to get you a better song. And the reason is, I'm going to use this song.
You keep saying that about everybody's song tonight.
I think William's had a transition. He deserves a better song than this one.
We have Chris, who says, awesome picture, Toby.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, well, awesome. Actually, it was Shelley's picture. So.
Yeah, but you're starring in it.
It's been that kind of day, hasn't it?
Oscar Rodriguez. Toby is the steak maestro, says Michael.
Those are pretty good steaks,
I
aren't
think
they?
when he's just having any real, steak, after living in Tokyo where everything's super expensive. I think it was just a treat for him. Rick Plank from Cincinnati. Hooley's here.
Hey, Hooley. No, Hooley.
William, I said.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Rainville, I said. Fubar,
I
970.
should mention, let me mention, I mentioned it this afternoon, but if you haven't been to AJ's YouTube channel, go there and subscribe. Let's see if we can get him to 100 subscribers tonight. He's doing some really fun things live and with riddles and stuff. And he has an interest in it, and he indicates some kind of expertise in it. So, AJ Rainville, go visit his YouTube channel right now and subscribe.
So Deb JB says, "Hola, cazadores de tesoros, dia de joroba."
I have to see it. Does it? Searchers for the treasure, dia de joroba.
Hump.
Joroba.
Day of the hump.
Yeah, day of the hump. Which is not exactly the same as hump day. It is the day of the hump.
Jason North Base is here. Tamara Lamb from Connecticut.
That's a new name.
She's been in a few times.
Oh, has she?
Finders Keepers, hello. Journeyman's here. Toby Fan 3000, John Werner. Hump Date is asleep on the couch. Oh, she's resting up for you.
Yeah, she's resting up.
She'll be ready after the show. To crawl off to bed, probably. Stephen Creel from Navarre, Florida. Denise Baker, Czar 334. Jason Hamilton from Missouri.
The Show Me State. I went to basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
So I'm at 7:05.
Stayed there for AIT,
7:05, 7:06 p.m.
Deb
World
JB's got
famous
another-
gamer.
WFG, what's going on?
Mr. Anonymous, first time on chat, but I watch the show all the time.
Oh, good to be here.
Glad
nice
you
to be on
joined the
chat.
chat
Yeah,
room.
say hi to everybody. Tell them where you're
Yeah.
from. And tell them where the treasure is, because none of them know.
Yeah, and neither do we, so tell us.
Yeah.
Paladin's here.
Shit.
He didn't mean that, Paladin.
I didn't mean it in the way that it may have sounded. I mean, it was an exclamation of,
Oh, my goodness.
I haven't done it.
Cha-ching again.
What?
There's a super chat challenge right there.
Thanks for the great info, guys, from
Anderhaven.
Anderhaven.
Thank you.
Wow,
Ander.
thank you, Andrew.
See,
That's
he,
very
he
thoughtful.
came up orange.
Yeah.
Kind of golden orange.
Yeah, that is a very nice color. See, the more you contribute, the hotter you look.
Eric Schmidt's here.
Hey, ES, nice to see you again. Retracting his messages. I can see your messages, ES, on Restream.
Denise says, Shelley and Toby should write some memoirs. We're too busy doing the show. We don't have time.
We don't have time. We just do this. This is our living now.
K-Pro's here.
Hey, K-Pro, thanks for the info on the faux announcement over on Dale Neitzel's site. Yeah, I mean, if you had just looked at it and read it,
But
you
it's
would have
always
seen,
good
like,
to have that confirmation.
it was not fun. I was actually kind of surprised at the response of some of the folks at over Dale Neitzel. It was like, oh, I'm depressed. No,
Well.
that isn't Forrest Fenn writing that. That's not how we'd all find out.
No.
Okay.
So K-Pro's here.
Oh, K-Pro.
She
Easy
gets a
bit,
little cowbell
easy
with
bit,
hers. We have the Sassy, 1962. also
Good evening,
known as
Sassy.
Sherry.
Sassy Sherry.
Yeah. Shobi and Telly, we love you guys. Says
You know
Tony
what?
Rusi.
We love each other, too.
Oh, yeah, well. Let's not go there.
Friends.
J.A. Street.
He had a question. J.A. Street had that really good question a while ago.
Yes.
Okay.
It says congrats.
Why, congrats.
I think for the necklace. We were talking about the
Oh.
necklace at the time.
Oh.
Let's see. Who else is here? Copper Dan, I think we said. Robert Nenig. Deb JB. Marty Bird.
Dead JV is speaking in Spanish again. Toby, tu último video fue una muy buena información. You should be able to translate that.
Something about the information.
Your last video was very informative. Gracias.
Okay. Rave Rider. I'm pretty sure I said Illinois Ghost already. CMC is here. Let's see, Denise Baker. We have Tony Driver. Brian Eagle. DD is here.
Toby Bo Walker says, "See, Toby, I watch you guys live." You do, Bo. We've seen you, and we get your emails.
We've even had a picture of yours up on our wall before.
Yeah, we did.
Zoe the Cat's here. BM, Bum Bum. I'm not sure how you say that. Bum Bum. Bum Bum. Maybe it's like that sound that is on Law and Order. Bum Bum.
What?
Bum Bum. Law and Order. They do that little.
So commercial
bum,
TV?
bum. Yeah, but it's been on forever. I thought somebody
didn't watch as long as it was in
seen
commercial.
once at least. in
Wow,
your
we
life.
have Illinois Ghost and Jason Dent and K-Pro in the room all at the same time. Wow.
all of our YouTubers.
Bunch of power in the room. Power in the room, brothers and sisters.
Power.
I bring power in the room, brothers and sisters. Give me an amen.
Amen. 23 Monarcha.
23 Monarcha.
Mr. T is here.
Oh,
with
Mr. T of Mr. T of
Mr. T
Oh,
of the chat room.
of the chat.
Ob Ord, also known as
George. George, we played your audio earlier. That was pretty good. Did you hear my answer? I'll repeat it in case you weren't here. You can contact Forrest at forrestfenn@gmail.com. Tell him your needs or expectations, and he will choose to respond or not. So it is rare, I think, that he'll give you a call. That's just very unlikely to happen unless you have the treasure and you want to talk about it.
808 Hard Worker. Plane rides are behind me and the road trip has begun. Flat Creek bound. Hope to make it into New Mexico in a month or so. Wow.
Dang. Where are you
Wow.
driving from?
Plane ride. He's the one from
Thailand?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a long trip. Made that trip.
Jana, Minnesota is here. Charles Clement. Laughing off his aggression. Ooh.
Finally got to meet your bestie, Cynthia. She's a riot. That's from Meh. And K-Pro says, Meh. Yes, she is, and you are not even her type.
Meh.
She is fab, beyond fab.
Mine popped. Are you where I was?
Part what?
Mine popped up.
To what?
To the bottom.
You're at
so-
7:12.
Oh, okay.
Can you go by times?
12, yeah. Let me keep going here.
You'll have to go down a little bit from there.
La 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 la. Sorry. Okay. Denise Baker. Alan K. Shelley, can you add me to your list for September?
Who is that?
All right.
Alan?
Alan K. is going to
Nice.
find the treasure in September. Unless somebody gets there first.
I think we said hi to everybody. Marty doesn't read the cancer story. Yeah, he doesn't, does he, Marty? Hooley retracted her message, taking after Eric.
Thomas Sawyer.
What? Tom
Thomas
Sawyer?
Sawyer. Yeah.
At what time?
7:25.
Oh, you're way down there. Dang. Okay.
Rudy Green.
Don't forget, if you have a question or a comment directed at us, precede that with an ampersand, a space gypsies space kiss. And there is an asterisk in gypsies.
An apostrophe.
I'm sorry. That's how good I am at my Catholic school punctuation.
Yeah. Okay. Jan Schultz is here. 23 Monarcha. I keep saying that. Tom Sawyer.
Dev JB
Sakar
said
is here.
that call was worse than eating a no-name steak.
Jingo Bingo. KJ. That's my niece. Everybody calls her KJ.
KJ?
Carissa Joe.
The sassy, all I got is bah, ha, 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 ha. Good answer. I don't know what she's talking. I don't know what she's saying.
Ken Blythe from Ontario, Canada.
Davio 20, let's see.
Jana, Minnesota. She wants to have her song be Blue Jeans by Neil. Oh, Forever in Blue Jeans by Neil Diamond.
Yeah, let me get. I gotta start catching up with these.
J. Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Ross B.
What in Blue Jeans?
Forever.
Forever in Blue Jeans.
Neil Diamond.
Forever in Blue Jeans.
Ross B. DJ Novatek. River Rat. Big fan. Joshua Davidson.
River
from
Rat said
Florida.
That. I'm actually a big fan of that name, River Rat. I think that's kind
Rudy Green, Treasure Hunter, $2. Boots on the ground next week.
What?
Gave us $2 and said,
Where?
go on Boots on the ground next week. 7:30. It's blue.
It's blue. Wow, you're all the way down there? There's Jan. What Jan said?
Jay Anschultz.
Oh, okay.
Ord.
I don't have it.
You don't have it?
No.
Huh.
It's like he never donated.
It's right there. We have Jason Dent and before Jay Anschultz.
Well, let's just
There you
give
go.
him a
Rudy
shame for
Green.
that.
Get it, Shishim.
Thank you for that donation to our project.
Milan.
Because that's how we think.
Fenner.
Milan. Is that Milan in another disguise? In
Milan
another
Fenner.
outfit? Sakar says, A Gypsy's Kiss. Why did you make the ampersand more difficult? Just kidding. Here is the question. No, it's the @ sign, not ampersand. Here's the question that probably was discussed already. What do you think is the one thing searchers haven't thought of yet? We haven't thought of...
If we knew that, we would have thought of it.
Yeah, so that was a question that was posed by Fenn to Jason, if I remember correctly, and guys correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was posed to Jason Dent as something to be discussed. And Jason asked him for some input. Fenn responded, what's the one thing that you haven't thought about? I think that was Jason. Forgive me if it wasn't. The one thing that we haven't thought about is the key, all of those, I categorize those all in the same place. The one thing that we're not thinking about, the key that we haven't gotten, he said it in a different way in this last interview. The one thing that we don't think enough about is what we talked about this afternoon. Who is Forrest Fenn? Because he says, more often than not, he says, it's not who I am. No. It's not who I am. It doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who I make you think I am. That is, I've concluded as of this afternoon. The next time, anytime somebody's going to ask me that question about what we should be thinking about, I'm going to say that. That's what I'm going to be thinking about. It's not who I am. It doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who I make you think I am. Right? Which is his... Dang nabbit. I want to get that correct. So in the book, in the chapter, Dancing with the Millennium, he writes one of the things he cast into one of his bells or jars, it doesn't matter who you are. It only matters who they think you are. Right? And he writes it in the second you and third person, they. Let me read that to you as if he had written it in the first and second person. It doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who you think I am. That's what we should be talking about. That's the key. That's the thing we're missing. That's the clue that we should be talking about, etc., etc.
Okay. Lavender Blonde.
Illinois Ghost. Wait, I gotta go back. Illinois Ghost had a question. Let me see. Sakar. Okay, Sakar. Illinois Ghost. Hey, Rick. The one thing is how to find the correct warm water salt. No. You know what? As of this afternoon, I'm not going to waste my time with warm water salt. There's no warm water salt to be found. One of the questions, I got a comment this afternoon from our friend in the UK, Adam Foddy. And he said, are you really going to take the part? Here's, you know what is interesting about the poem? If you look at what we've been looking at from all these past 9 years, which is begin it where warm waters halt and end it with look quickly down your quest to cease. You are using 4, 8, 9, 10 lines out of 24 lines in that poem. That means you're using less than half the poem to figure that out. And you're using an associate, so I can't do that in my head. What's 24 divided by 10? 10 divided by 24. Hold on.
2.4.
Yeah.
Just move the decimal point over if you're dividing 10.
So if you're looking at those 8 lines in stanzas 2, 3, and 4, you're using approximately 40% of the entire poem. On the other hand, if you take that poem and say it's all in there and all 166 words mean something, instead of, I got to do this, times, oh, wait.
It's time for math, boys and girls.
Okay. If, oh, that's an interesting number. If all you're looking, and I'm not criticizing anybody because this is what I've been doing. My whole search for the treasure has been based upon begin up where warm water's all, take it to the canyon down, not far but too far to walk, put in below the humble brown. From there it's no place for the meek, the end is ever drawing nigh. There'll be no paddle up your creek, just heavy loads and water's high. If you've been wise and found the blaze, look quickly down your quest to seize. There's 166 words in that poem, and by doing those 10 lines, you've eliminated 100 of the words. And that was the point that I was trying to make this afternoon. If all we are doing is looking at those 10 lines, we're ignoring 100 other words in that poem. And somewhere in that is where the treasure is hidden. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We just got a top chat from DJ Navatek, who was out this weekend from Gallup, or the Rocky Mountains part of Abiquiu, to El Vado Lake. I don't think they make it all the way to Abiquiu. I think they stop somewhere around Chama based on how I look at the map. But the only way you could get that answer is speak to a geologist who's much more knowledgeable in this area than me. You know what? Since you donated $5, I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to call UNM tomorrow.
Except that he'll forget, so don't hold him to it. So we have True Believer in the room. True Believer says, get back in the box. Boxes have 4 corners. X's have 4 corners. What are the 4 corners? Well, there are 4 corner states, which includes Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado. Of those, 2 are treasure states, New Mexico and Colorado.
Oh, did you finish? I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Jason Dent sent, what is the one good clue the searchers couldn't think of themselves but haven't? I'm going to go back. Jason, I think it's kind of the same question that Rick was asking. The one good clue is Fenn saying, it doesn't matter who I am, it only matters who you think I am. Who is Forrest Fenn? That's the clue. And the answer we came up with this afternoon is Forrest Fenn, more than anything else, is a risk taker. And what I said this afternoon is, having been in my life a risk taker myself, is risk takers fail more than half the time. That doesn't keep them from trying again. Give me Thomas Edison.
I know 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb.
Exactly.
10,000 ways not to find that treasure. Tony Rusi says, are you guys coming to Yellowstone National Park for Function in the Junction in June? We had talked about it, but but my husband is going to have to go to training sometime in June, and he doesn't know when, so it's been really difficult to make any kind of plans around his schedule. So that's why we haven't made any plans yet. We'll see.
Okay, so I will put this on the line since I don't have a husband who has to make plans. But I want Shelley and Kevin, the 3 of us, because we're a team, to go. If they can't go, I will make it a point to go to the function in the junction. I promise, unless something happens to me. something happens. I will be at the
thumb injury.
Another thumb injury could hold me back, but I'll be at the function of the junction. So this would be a good time to bring up all your concerns about how I run this channel.
KJ from Maine.
I need to, let's see, hold on.
Wayne Ross.
Did you get the Joshua Davidson?
No.
How far? So Joshua Davidson, why aren't they popping up?
I don't know.
Joshua Davidson, $2.22, the best map program other than Google Earth. I strongly recommend OnX Maps. You'll find them at onx.com, and they give you a great deal of detail. Plus, they have layers so that you can see the different layers of who administers the property, whether it's private, tribal, BLM land, National Forest land, National Fish and Wildlife land. OnX Maps, there's a fee associated with it, but it's worth it. I think you get 30 days for free, so you can get on there, take a look at what you want, and they're as resolute as any other map you can buy. That's what I use. There was a great program called GMAP 4 that was available for the longest time, but he closed it down this last year, and he was talking about doing something alternative, and he said he would inform me that if that occurred. He's never put up anything since. He's not informed me of anything new. Okay, so thank you for that.
We have Jake Falker, who says, after chasing Fenn's tail for years, what is your and Shelley's number one rule besides safety? And don't use Fenn's number one. Well, I think we really do focus a lot on don't go where an 80-year-old man can't go.
If that's
carrying a treasure.
Yeah, we do.
Because it's so logical.
And to a lesser extent, that leads us to whether it's Fenny or not. One of the things that you have to consider,
look for pine trees.
Yeah, is that he put this in some place he called special, that he considered special, and he said his church is in the mountains and the riverbeds, et cetera, et cetera. So he describes a relatively environmentally sacred place. And that's what I always refer to as Fenny. And so I guess in addition to could an 80-year, because that's what stopped a couple of our early searches, could an 80-year-old man have gone here? And the answer was no, we're about to do something that an 80-year-old man couldn't do or wouldn't do if he had any sense. And then the second thing was, this isn't you, if you go to the John Dunn Bridge, below the John Dunn Bridge. It's a beautiful, this was before he said anything about it not being in the Rio Grande. But you go down there and you realize just because of the traffic and the kind of high desert thing, it just isn't Fenny enough. It might have some historical interest to him because he liked the idea of John Dunn, but it's just not Fenny enough. I think that would be the two, I would say those are the two primary things. One, could an 80-year-old man have done this? And two, is this Fenny enough? Does this place feel sacred to you? So,
Salty Dog.
Salty Dog.
And Lavender Blonde says Toby is handsome in pink.
Oh.
Pretty in pink, handsome in pink.
Thank you. It happens to match my underwear.
We don't need to know that. TMI. Okay.
So Illinois says, think the one thing is how to find the correct warm water salt. Rick, I am not looking for warm waters anymore. I don't think it has anything to do with finding this treasure.
And we have Charles McIntyre, old Bad to the Bone from Nevada.
Oh. Steve Gahagan, did I lose my intro music? No, you didn't. I just didn't see it.
He just forgot. You got to remind him.
That's what all the people say.
I'm an old man. If you don't remind me, I won't.
You're riding high in April and shut down in May.
All right, we have Zapster and Sakar. Let's see. Sakar says, DJ Novatech, yes, that area is part of the in-play area on the map. From Too Far to Walk, A Gypsy's Kiss. You had a super chat with an inbound question or not from DJ Novatech. Did we miss something?
We read that one, so I might have read that before he wrote that.
Oh.
That was the one that he put up that
I'm
I had
at the
read.
bottom now. So.
Okay, so Greg Keller, who's the gentleman that's always going to work I think he must go to work at 8 o'clock our time, because he was listening while getting ready for work, but finally made it in the chat room. Greg, say hi to your boss for us and tell him we'd still like to see him on the show sometime. Tell him to give us a call sometime and explain why he won't let you watch the show. No, I don't mean that.
So I'm at the bottom.
So if you want, if you don't want to buy ID Russian makes a good point. If you don't want to use an online mapping service that you have to pay for, because I don't know any other than Google Earth that you don't have to pay for, the best thing to do is go to your the BLM office closest to your search area, and they have the best maps you can buy. Right? They have the most resolved maps that you can buy, because that's what one of their responsibilities is. But you have to go to the BLM. The Forest Service sometimes have maps of each of their Forest Service locations, but I found them cumbersome. They always try to put everything on a 6 foot by 4 foot map. So nothing against the Forest Service. I love the Forest Service. Forest Service is my friend. Okay, I think
especially smoking a beer.
Okay, so there's the DJ Novatech div from Gallup. Are the Rocky Mountains part of Abiquiu to Alvado Lake? Yeah, that's, you know what? Hang on a sec.
Denarth says, I'm finding this community really interesting. One thing I still don't understand, though, is why, with so much on the line, are people so willing to share solves and information? Because nobody knows they have the answer for sure. And sometimes solving it as a group will get you there faster, take you farther. I guess it's like that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. So maybe we'll get more done together.
And you may not have been here for our conversations with Sassy Sherry, who's in the room tonight. Sassy was the individual the treasure hunter who found the David Blaine treasure back in the early 2000s. And one of the characteristics of that treasure hunt was that it was linear and consecutive. That means it had clue one, and once you had clue one, you know where to go. Very much unlike the Fenn treasure, which has been one of my criticisms. But what can I say? But Blaine's treasure was clue one. I know where that is. Clue two, I know where that is. And when she got into the search, the only thing that was left was the last 2 or 3 clues. And that's what she resolved. But she stood upon the shoulders of the people that preceded her, which of course didn't make them happy. But hey, first come, first serve is the way it is. And so I think part of this treasure hunt is the community that's willing to put at risk the things that they've discovered in case what they've discovered doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, you can see just by the questions we get that there's people coming into the search all the time. And it's not that we're sharing information that's top secret. The simple fact of the matter is this information has been resolved, someplace along the last 9 years. So
well, I think we better get on to emails because we're already almost 8 o'clock here.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me check out this chammer. Okay, hold on. I'm going to take off the map layers. And hold on. Map layers. I'm going to turn off that. And I'm going to turn off that. Okay. So, let me show this to DJ Novatech here real quick. Okay, DJ, I want you to look at the screen for just a second because I'm going to play this. Okay? So this is from my Onyx maps. And the crosshairs that you see right there is over the Rio Chama Wilderness area. This area here is the Rio Grande Rift. You can see how it separates the eastern part of the Rocky Mountains from the western, and they go all the way down. I don't want to do that too much. They go all the way down to Santa Fe, which is right there. Now, I'm sure there is a sub-range that has a name right there. And if I remember correctly, it's
San Juan?
The Tusas or so San Juan's over here.
No, it's right there.
Oh, okay. Oh, San Juan Mountains, which are an extension of the Rocky Mountains. You'll see that each of these right here is the Culebra Range, the Cimarron Range, the Rincon Range, the Santa Fe Mountains, the San Pedro Mountains. Those are all sub-ranges in the Rocky Mountains. Okay? So that's an answer to your $5 question there.
All right. And for Jeff N. Schultz, 1999, says, try simplify if you can.
What? That's Jeff's second donation tonight.
Simplify.
Wait a minute. I need to go back to the screen. Hold on.
He's being very generous this evening. Thank you again, Jeff.
Jeff, thank you very much.
Oscar Rodriguez is in the room.
Rick Plank says, but didn't Forrest say something like, there are 1,000 places for warm water salt. You just have to find the right one. You know what? There are. And if you find the right one, good for you. But you're now wasting 60% of the poem. Let's see. Sakar says, what if original poem was only 12 lines, and that is why Doug Preston said he thought it was too easy, and stanzas 5, 6, and 1 were added to clear up the legal aspects? Well, the point is, that could very well be true, but the simple fact of the matter is what we got was the 166 words that make up the poem. And one has to question, of course, if it was only the 12 lines that we described in stanzas 2, 3, and 4.5, or half of 4, then how, if it was the same words, what we've discovered? I mean, if I were to tell you tonight, you don't have to use stanza 1, the second half of stanza 4, stanzas 5, and stanza 6, would you be any further ahead than we are now? Because the simple fact of the matter is, if it was only those 12 lines, 10 lines, let's say the 12 lines in stanzas 2, 3, and 4, if it was only those, we haven't done it anyway. So it wouldn't have made any difference if it printed 12 lines or the 24 that he did. We still haven't found the treasure, because apparently the 12 lines are embedded in the 24. The Sassy 1962, our friend Sassy, who is the finder of the David Blaine treasure, says, just like David Blaine said, you could solve it by doing the puzzles or by knowing him. I agree with that. Let me see. Chenarth, thanks Toby and Shelley and everyone else for answering. Helps me put things into perspective. I hadn't. Okay, can we get to emails now? Seriously.
I'm waiting.
Oh, okay. Who wants to go first?
I will. This is from Steve Gehagen. Thank you, letter to Forrest. Hello, Toby and Shelley. I hope this message finds you well. A while ago, a YouTuber... Oh, we forgot to put our little video up.
What? Emails?
The emails.
Emails. I was watching it. Guys, if you lose the stream, just hit the refresh button on your browser. It'll come right back. That's just YouTube being stupid.
Back to Steve.
Plus, we have 234 people in the room, and we're sharing bandwidth.
A while ago, a YouTuber put out the idea we should all send a letter or make a video thanking Forrest. This is my letter that I sent Forrest that goes along with what was discussed this afternoon on your show. I have no problem if you share this on the Hump Day Hoedown tonight. And he says, hello, Forrest. I hope this message finds you and Peggy well. I've enjoyed your stories very much. Here is one of my own. The other night, while the snow was flying and the wind was howling, which is typical for a Nebraska winter, our family was gathered in the warm glow of a Hollywood movie. It was a tale of inspiration, but with that inevitably comes hardship. At this particular moment of trial in the movie, my youngest daughter turned to me with swollen eyes of blue. She stated, I don't like the way they're treating that girl. Dad, it isn't fair to make fun of her for who she is. The words pulled my heart into my throat, and with a short pause and a long swallow, I softly told her, it doesn't matter who you are, it only matters who they think you are. With a smile and a giggle, she threw her arms around my neck, pulling me tight, saying, I love you, Daddy, until her grip was only loosened by the wandering dreams of a child. Once in a while, I do something right. Thank you, Forrest. Your experience and stories have bettered my life, and I will continue to pass them forward. In solidarity, Stephen Gehagen.
I got another email. Let me see. I'm going to have to save that email for
Friday.
Friday, yeah.
We got a ton of them here.
Okay, this one is entitled Dr. Tom Smith Panel. Good morning, Shobi and Telly. Just rewatched the Dr. Tom All About Bears panel. Now would be a good time to bring him back on and do a panel with 24K Pro and Cow. It would be helpful for the new searchers and a refresher for everyone else. Just a thought. Have a great day. So once we do a panel, I mean, I'm not sure that Dr. Tom could provide any additional information, although he was having audio problems. I think what would be interesting is that some of the other YouTubers get in touch with another bear expert so we can have a different perspective. I don't think it's, in my opinion, I think it's more helpful to everyone when we have a variety of opinions on the matter, especially when it comes to bears. So what I'm going to suggest is I'm going to steal your idea, and I'm going to suggest to K-Pro and Cal that they look for another bear expert and have them on a panel and talk about bears.
The bears. All right, and this one is from Sebastian Kazap, Forrest Fenn Treasure. Sorry to disturb you, Mr. Younis, as you probably get tons of emails pertaining to the search for Forrest Fenn's treasure. I've only recently joined in the search on Sunday evening, May 5th. Well, that is very recent. And I'm wondering if this treasure has been found yet. Not that we're aware of. Also, would you have a list of clues that Fenn gave outside of his poem? You can find everything on terryscant.com.
Well, Illinois Ghost, who's in the room right now, actually, Rick McDonald maintains a page on his website, illinoisghost.wordpress.com/Fenn-quotes, I think, if I remember correctly. And so, Rick, you can't put the whole URL in there, but put the /Fenn quotes part in there. So it's illinoisghost.wordpress.com and then /Fenn quotes, Fenn-quotes. And I think you'll get to all, he has a list. Also on Dale Neitzel's site, daleneitzel.com, go in there and search. I don't know if he actually listed, and it's called Fenn Cheat Sheet. So just search Fenn Cheat Sheet. And he has a lot of those clues that, I'm hesitant to call them clues, things that Fenn has said that might be interpreted as ways to get closer to the treasure.
Okay, continuing on. Truthfully, I have followed his poem, Google Earth, and some online finds, and on Monday night, May 6th, I think I discovered where he hid it. Every clue in his poem fits perfectly. Every clue he has given in interviews and such fits perfectly. I'm trying to find something that doesn't add up with the spot, but everything does. Everything makes perfect sense when you look at my spot. I live extremely far away, and I'm not sure if it's even possible for me to get there this summer to physically search. Also very expensive. Regards and thank you for any info provided. Sebastian.
Video of forensic proof chest was retrieved. Hello, Toby. Have you seen this video that provides forensic proof that Forrest retrieved the treasure chest? I am wondering your view on it. Thanks. And he does the video of the guy that had some pictures from some place that showed a treasure chest that wasn't hidden. It was the treasure chest as it appeared at one time. So my opinion on the matter is that is neither forensically qualified. It is almost circumstantial evidence, but it is 90% opinion because there is no evidence the treasure has been recovered, retrieved, found, and there is no indication that the poem has been solved. If you have evidence,
or did...
I don't know. I thought with Jan Schultz. Is that a new one?
I don't know.
No, that's Jan Schultz.
Oh, yep.
Try to simplify if you can. Was that the same one?
Yep. Just want to make sure. All right, and this one is another one from Sebastian Kazap, Forrest Fenn Treasure. Let me ask 3 other questions. Number 1, what is the next step after having found the treasure? What do you do with it? You mentioned in your video not tell anyone and keep it for at least 90 days. Fenn had said 30 days, but you think it's best more. This, for personal safety reasons, is wise. But I mean, what do you do with the treasure after? Can you sell it to collectors, museums, etc.? I also read in a comment somewhere that according to a park official, the treasure is not a finder's keeper's situation. It is considered a lost and found item and as such belongs to the park. Is this true? Also, does the government tax you on this? I'm basically asking if when you find the treasure...
Wait, I need to answer those one at a time. Can I do that?
There is probably about 30 questions on that one email, so go for it.
Jeez. What is the next step after finding the treasure? you catalog it and you put it in a safe deposit box. What do you do with it? You get rid of it as soon as you can, you monetize it, or you liquidate it as soon as possible. You mentioned in your video not to tell anyone for at least 90 days. 90 days is probably too long. You should let the community know anonymously as soon as you can, so there aren't people going out spending money, time, and effort, and maybe even injuries in their lives looking for a treasure that you've already found. That will be held against you. If they don't, I will. Can you sell it to collectors, museums, etc.? Yes. I also read in a comment somewhere that according to a park official, the treasure is not finders keepers situation is considered a lost and found item. Yes, and they're required to look for the person that lost it, and then the person that lost it can give it up to the person that found it. Also, does the government tax you on this? Yes, the government will tax you on the proceeds. So if you keep it, they'll want an estimate, an appraised value of it, and then you'll have to pay taxes on that if you want to keep it. If you liquidate it, then you'll have to pay taxes on that amount. I'm going to strongly recommend you liquidate it and then pay taxes on that. But I'm not a tax attorney. When you find the treasure, do you have to go dark and sell it on the black market or something? No, don't do that. That will put your life in great danger, especially if you've never done anything like that. Do not do that whole black market thing. Pay the taxes, be safe, liquidate it as soon as possible, maintain your anonymity, and go on with your life. I know this is more than one question. Okay. Warm waters, something, WWFW, what does that mean? What would Fenn want? I mentioned that maybe you're in contact with Fenn. I am not in contact with Fenn, or sometimes intentionally watches your shows. I do not know that to be true. I think it would just drive him nuts if he were to see some of our shows. To see anything new happen in the search. Here, no, if he wants to know if anything new happens in the search, he has 3 or 4 people that he's very close with that he could contact and ask, and who stay in constant touch with him. Here's a question for Mr. Fenn. Would he prefer his treasure be found? Write him at forrestfenn@gmail.com and ask him that question, expecting that he watches this and then writes you in responses. The chances are slim to none. Number 3, if I end up going into the area and making a video of where it is and going from clue to explain that, would you host it on your show? Yes, but don't do that. I don't find the treasure. It can only mean one thing: someone has found or taken. No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that if you haven't found the treasure, somebody's beat you to it. It simply means you didn't have the right theory, right? That's all it means. There is a 99% probability that if you get there and the treasure is gone, you've got the wrong theory. Not that it's been retrieved. That's self-satisfying. Don't play that game. Be a mature searcher. There is no other way that the clues fit. No. I'm sorry. There are hundreds, there are thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people with theories on where this treasure is, and none of them have found it either. So you're going out, you've got a theory, you don't find it, and the only conclusion you can come to is, oh, somebody got there before me. That's ridiculous. Don't. There will be, oh my God, that's what clues mean. I also fit so perfectly that people stop searching for it, even if I can't prove that it was physically there. If you don't have the treasure, don't say anything. That's the best thing you can do, because the only evidence that the treasure has been found is a picture of the treasure with a newspaper with today's date sitting next to it, and whatever you decide to do in terms of information. No treasure recovered, no treasure retrieved, no poem that didn't work. None of that has any value whatsoever. You either have the treasure or you don't. Period. End of story.
These are all our opinions. Yes, Mark, as always.
Yeah.
This pretty much goes without saying, because we've always said these are our opinions.
This show is for entertainment.
We're not lawyers. We're not doctors. Right. We're not PhDs.
The show is for entertainment purposes only.
We're telling you what we would do and what makes sense to us. If you do not agree,
that's
then
okay.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't listen to us. We don't have the treasure. Your turn. Oh, no, that was your turn. I'm sorry. I stole that from you. Go ahead.
It's all right. You'll probably steal this one, too.
Oh, ouch.
This is from Jamie Rodriguez. Jamie from Illinois. I wanted to point out that Fenn says no one is going to stumble across the chest, and you're going to have to figure out the clues to find it. Clearly, Fenn can't know something like that. He doesn't know what people are out there doing, and anything that can happen will happen. When asked other questions with the same context, he responds by saying, how deep is a hole or how long is a rope? Well, that's simple. You just measure it. But why not answer the same when asked, can someone stumble across it? And why is he so sure?
He's been absolute about that. He insists that no one will ever stumble across his treasure. I disagree vehemently because the history of treasure finding, not the history of treasure hunting is a lot less satisfying than the history of treasure hunting. Some of the biggest treasures have been found accidentally. And it is very possible for Fenn's treasure to be found accidentally due to changes in ecology, environment, growth in the population, the need to travel further away from urban areas, etc., etc. So I don't agree with him when it comes to that. I think it could one day be found accidentally because the history of treasure finding is that they are, for the most part, found accidentally. Oh, so this is just Abord hitting me from another angle. Man, you went all the way, didn't you? So it's Abord asking in the email someone would contact Mr. Fenn. So send him an email to forrestfenn@gmail.com, and he will determine whether or not it is important enough to go to do further contact. If you have the treasure, he'll probably talk to you. Go.
Oh, I was just reading Julie Wachholz's comment. She says, recommend hiring attorney as first step. Attorney can communicate publicly for the finder and keep finder's ID hidden. Can help with getting it valued, sold, and tax advice investments.
Yeah, assuming you have the right kind of attorney. That's why we're looking for attorneys in Washington, D.C. We're not looking anymore.
So this is again from Jamie Rodriguez.
What's?
From Illinois. So question, what is the thing we're missing that would make this easy? Fenn basically says in that interview, it's easy if and difficult if not. What do you and other searchers seriously think it is? I feel like you'll want to say, if I knew, then I'd have the chest, but that's not an answer I'm looking for. There should be a discussion solely on that, due to the fact that so many of us have studied and researched this to death. Just go down the list of what we have tried and should try and talk about that. It seems like the most logical way to spark newer ideas for those still trying to solve it. Fenn makes it pretty clear that you need to be able to see through his eyes to read the poem correctly. If it's straightforward with no subterfuge, then why is everyone zigzagging left and right and saying you need this and that to get your answer? I find it interesting that people can say, oh, it's here because this means this, but never stop to ask why. I can't even decide where warm waters halt means. I would like everyone's thoughts.
Okay, well, we're going to give you our response, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did this afternoon that I did tonight. I want you to go to your quiet place where you think about looking for Forrest Fenn's treasure, and I want you to imagine Forrest Fenn standing in front of you and saying the following words straight to your face, using his finger pointed at you to make it to give it emphasis, to emphasize what he's saying. It doesn't matter. This is Forrest Fenn saying this. Okay, remember, you got to think Forrest Fenn. I can't do a Forrest Fenn voice. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find it and I'm going to make a cut up of his voice. It doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who you think I am. All right? So put that image in your head. Go to your happy place where you think about the Forrest Fenn treasure and imagine Forrest Fenn saying that to you. That should give you enough to think about. During the head, people go out another way, walk around it. Denise Baker says, has anyone wondered why there is a woman on the hook of the back of the Fenn treasure medallion? What is that? Woman on the hook. This one? Is that what you're talking about? This treasure medallion? Or is there another one?
Don't know.
My turn?
Yes.
A follow-up to the 200-foot searcher email. This is from Denise Baker. So she's been a busy little bee, hasn't she? Between the chat room and this. I think F's, meaning Forrest, extensive discussion of rules in the German Playboy audio might be warning people that they are making too many rules for finding the treasure that may not be his rules. People might be limiting themselves to accepted protocol in the search community. Some rules are meant to be broken.
Okay, this is that article. So.
Oh, do you want to talk about that?
Why don't you? So, Candace.
Okay. What do you want to talk?
Chris.
Well, let me mention this, and then you talk about that. How's that? Okay, so this is from Candace Stempeck, and she sent us a link, and she said, I'm sure you saw this, but in case you didn't, the article mentions AGK, sorry. And this is the article that appeared in the Louisville Com Lifestyle Culture magazine, or section. And several people had sent us a link, but no one explained that we were mentioned in it. So no, I shouldn't say explained. No one mentioned that we were mentioned it until we got this from Candace. And indeed, we are mentioned in it.
And Chris Dotson, who the article is about, also sent us a copy of the article. And it's a thrill of the chase. Local man believes he has a bead on legendary Forrest Fenn treasure. And it's
a pretty good write-up.
Insider Louisville.com lifestyle culture, thrill of the chase. Local man believes he has a bead on legendary Forrest Fenn treasure. And the part that we're mentioned in specifically says this. He also spends hours listening to podcasts and interviews and watching shows dedicated to Fenn. One show he obsesses over is a video talk show of sorts called A Gypsy's Kiss, featuring hosts Toby Younis and Shelley Carney, who discuss all things Forrest Fenn.
Which is what we put in our description box below.
So,
but it was nice because they actually gave us a link, and we had seen a slight bump up in subscriptions, so we wondered if it wasn't from this Louisville. So, Chris, thank you for mentioning us. We really appreciate it. And we're happy to hear that you're obsessed over the program then. Should we be worried? Mystery of the 200-foot searcher solved, ? Drawing. Oh, this is also from Denise Baker. When did she write that? Saturday, May 4th. I have a theory about how it happened that the 200-foot searcher who solved the first two clues ended up 200 feet from the treasure, but then walked right by it. So, Denise, the only problem with that is we don't have a way to connect all those things together. We know that there was someone closer than 200 feet. We assume that they solved some of the clues in order to be doing it, but we think the people that solved the first two clues and then walked past it are other people. We don't think they're the same person, but then walked right by it. It's not because the clues are all very near each other. The 200-foot searcher solved the first two clues, which brought him to the general area of the treasure, not 200 feet from the treasure. But then they wouldn't call him the 200-foot searcher. Then the 200-foot searcher got in his car and drove to the next clue because the poem says too far to walk. He then fumbles the next few clues but manages to end up 200 feet from the treasure. If the treasure is where I think it is, then I can confirm my source this summer. In the meantime, it is something to think about as an alternative to all the clues are really close together rule that is being followed blindly by many in the search community. I don't know necessarily that it's being followed blindly, and I don't know how many there are. We believe that the search area is smaller than 1,000, or the distance between clue 1 and clue 9 is less than 1,000 feet. Some people believe less, some people believe more, but I don't think anyone's doing it blindly. I think they're confident that their research supports the idea. So we're interested to see. And something that said, I can confirm my source this summer. So let us know, Denise, when you get back this summer, how you did. Okay.
Cha-ching here.
Where from what?
Another one from Jeff Anschultz, who says, your amount and message will be public.
Your amount and message it will indeed. And
yes.
As you can obviously see. Go ahead.
All right. This is from Ryan Coy. And the title is Language Usage. Hello, AGK. I was wondering if you could discuss language usage on your Friday show next week. The reason I ask this is that I live in Thailand and would like to watch the show live on Saturday mornings if I wake up early enough. What do I mean by language usage? Specifically, old terminology. For example, Cynthia said that quickly down was an old term for something, although I can't recall exactly what she said. She said, like if you were to look quickly down a well, it would be near the top of the water. Nigh is an old term meaning left, as I'm sure most are aware. Are there any more old terms that could possibly apply to the poem that searchers may not be aware of? Terry means to wait, of course. Thanks.
That's a tall order because I think that work has been done. And I think you're going to have to search for it. We never did it. and we are even less likely to do it based on this new approach that we're taking to the poem. We don't think the words have the meanings that they have. We just don't think that they're in the right order, I guess, for lack of a better way to describe it. So Denise had a question here. So Denise, didn't Fenn say family fishing might accidentally find the treasure? I have never heard that as a quote. Okay, so I got a email storm from Jamie Cole on Saturday that started with, at 6 p.m. tonight, I will be releasing the Thrill of the Chase poem Solve, $2 million treasure chest. I will be releasing everything. This is about to blow up. Tune in to YouTube Live. So I exchanged a couple of emails with him, asked him what he was talking about. I had never heard Jamie Cole's name prior to this time. But then on Monday, I got the following message, and it said, my family has been harassed because you told people on your channel I went to prison. Jamie, I can assure you that I never told anyone that story, whether it's a fact or not. I have no reason to, and if you have evidence that proves otherwise, please share it with me. Otherwise, you're making that up, brother. I have my reason on why I can't go. Didn't know that. I didn't know you before Saturday when you bombarded me with emails, which is not your concern or the world's. It is not. I don't care what you do when you look for the treasure. Yes, I speak and write differently, but that's no need to bully people. Interesting. Fenn writes and speaks differently too. Best make sure you let him know what you think about that. I have no opinion on the matter of how people write and speak. I am only concerned about how I write and speak because I try to do the best that I can. I'm off YouTube. I'm done with all this. Thanks for wrecking people's lives. Good people don't deserve this bull crap. Please don't reply. Just leave us alone. Okay. I have a new video for this. And Jamie Cole, like I said, prior to last Saturday, I had never even heard your name. If you would like to discuss this further, please feel free to call anytime I open the phone lines, and I'd be happy to have this conversation with you.
Okay. We have an email from Amber regarding Sassy Sherry. So, Sassy Sherry, listen up. Maybe you can help out with some of the answers on this. It says, hi, Toby. I saw a post on a blog that Sassy was on the show again after the full 2-hour interview. She mentioned in the live chat something about bold words in the book. Is there a way for me to see what she wrote, or was that during a show I could watch? If so, can you tell me what episode? Thank you, Amber. I know that we had Sassy on our show on April 12th. That was a Friday night. And she called in a few times. Sassy, if you remember when you called in or wrote in the chat about the word bold, would you let us know? And we can pass that on to Amber.
Yeah, I kind of remember her writing in the chat, but Amber, I couldn't tell you what, because she's been in almost every chat since she first appeared on our show, actually first called into the show, and we spoke with her. So I don't remember exactly, but she's in the room tonight, so maybe she can put it in the chat tonight, and as you review the chat, you can see her response there. Okay.
So Amber and Sassy, maybe you guys can hook up and have a chat about that. Okay.
I got another one here.
All right.
This one is entitled Tampering with Evidence. It's from Aaron Ramsey. I'd be careful doctoring your YouTube shows to remove all the evidence that you were involved with hacking me and causing me mental, emotional, and physical duress. All the direct quotes you made from my yet-to-be-published book, your references to some people thinking they're being watched in their homes, and Shelley, Big Brother is always watching comment. And my favorite, the message received during your show about the car taking over Bluetooth. At the exact moment I discovered the hacking. The fear on your faces, priceless at that time. Fortunately, I have a video camera. Yay, you. And I videotaped, that is so last millennium. I videotaped all your shows before you cleaned them up, including the chat, to ensure they were safe. I must be a mind reader. So the fact that your YouTube videos are scrubbed now shows your efforts to conceal evidence. Wonder how that's going to work out for you. Now it's just given that every show you do is videotaped. Love public domain. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Legal prosecution coming to you. Okay, I'm sorry. Moving on.
We have one from Bert Mays. The title is Forrest Fenn Treasure. Hello to a Gypsy's Kiss. I am a new treasure hunter and have enjoyed watching your YouTube videos. Could you please answer a question? I read that Forrest Fenn said the Rio Grande was not part of the Rockies. This would change a great deal of my current solve if it is true. Can you confirm? Thank you and keep the videos coming. Bert, Indiana Hunter. Well, Bert, I looked these things up on terryscant.com, and you can go there as well, terryscant.com, and just type in Rio Grande, and you'll find these quotes from Forrest. On the 16th of June, 2017, Forrest said, "Much of the Rio Grande River is not in the Rocky Mountains." He followed that up on June 29th, 2017 by saying, "The treasure chest is not underwater, nor is it near the Rio Grande River." So I would encourage you to, if you would like to read that for yourself and in context, go to terryscant.com and type in Rio Grande, and that should come up for you.
Yeah. So the two statements were slightly different from one another because he was referring to the geography of the Rio Grande. And in the second one, that came after the death of Paris Wallace, who died in the Rio Grande. And Fenn was making a point that we were wasting our time looking in the Rio Grande. The Rio Grande is in what is referred to as the Rio Grande Rift, which is a feature of the land from Colorado down to New Mexico, and technically it isn't in the Rocky Mountains. It actually splits part of the Rocky Mountains. Is that mine or yours?
Another Jeff Van Schultz tonight. Jeff Van Schultz is having his own personal super chat challenge. I think he's challenging himself to.
This is to beg you not to read that guy's garage. What does that mean?
I think garbage is what he meant.
Oh, garbage, yeah. That was two different people, for God's sakes.
You can read that one.
Okay. Oh, this is from Rich Dickerson. Rich has a YouTube channel called The Thrill of the Chase.
Thrill of the Treasure.
I'm sorry. Thrill of the Treasure, excuse me. And he does that talk while using screen capture to explain what he's talking about. I think he has about 500 subscribers. So if you're not a subscriber to Rich's Thrill of the Treasure, this would be a good time to go and become a subscriber. So he says, just wanted to do a follow-up on the comment I made on your video from earlier today. To watch your mind start to work on solving the treasure poem again was fascinating and impressive. I understand it wasn't a message saying you're out searching again, but to see you stay true to your promise that if you hear new information or have a possible paradigm shift, that you would be open was great. That is what we've said all along. The fact is, you guys are leaders on YouTube for a reason. You're approaching 5,000 subscribers because your videos that were produced while you were searching are just top-notch, and in my opinion, must listen for new searchers. After you made the decision to stop searching because of the feeling that the poem was over-engineered, among other reasons, the content didn't become bad, it just maybe lost some of that optimism that some of us need from time to time. That loss, combined with your no longer offering up your views on the poem in the context of being an active searcher, was really noticeable. I think there is a phenomenon that is associated with this endeavor, similar to writer's block. From time to time, after long periods of having to think like this, we just like to shut down. I'm not saying this is what happened in your case, but it probably sometimes we all should take note. Oh, but it is probably something we should all take note. I know I have had it happen and have heard about happening it to others. You see someone on the blogs for months, daily, then they're gone, or someone posts videos, and then all of a sudden none for a long time. Searcher's block is real. Thanks again, guys. Look for a larger than your normal 0.99 super chat from me tonight in thanks. That's nice of you. So there were several things. There was a couple of things. The amount of time and money and effort that we had spent over this last summer looking for the treasure was very frustrating. That we weren't frustrated because we didn't find the treasure. We were frustrated because we weren't making any progress. We didn't feel like we were making progress. Secondly, we felt like we had done as much analysis as we were capable of. I've been at it since 2013, analyzing the hell out of this thing, and I didn't have anything new. So that's why we thought it was a good time to stop. That has cleared my brain, I guess is a good way to describe it, with the possibility. And we have said that if we had some sort of breakthrough moment that would cause us to get back in the game, we would. Now, we haven't had that breakthrough moment yet. We had kind of an insight for ourselves. You may or may not agree with that. Recently, I thought about it a lot enough, and as a result, you saw our presentation this afternoon. I don't know necessarily that we'll ever go back to our old presentation style, but we are going to be using our Wednesday and Friday afternoon shows, to share with you anything that we think of as interesting. And there was a lot of interesting stuff in that last interview that Jason Dent published on his website, and that was food for thought. And when I heard some of the same things repeated, it doesn't matter who I am, and you're looking at the big picture, and you get back in the box, and you can't see the one, you're missing one big thing. Those are all common themes for Fenn. And it was those common themes that I went back to, and I said, what is he trying to tell us? Because I've got a feeling that he didn't answer the question about when the German Playboy, a journalist asked him, do you want this found before your lifetime? He avoided answering. It could be 100 years, it could be 1,000 years. He didn't answer. That's like he used the old rope and hole thing. How deep is a hole? He didn't answer the question. But somewhere in there, if I have to, I don't have to. If I want to believe that he wants it before his lifetime, that means he had to do something with that poem that I am over-engineering, right? I mean, that's kind of the conclusion I came to in the past couple of days. I've over-engineered the poem. So where do I go back to? I go back to where he tells me. Go back to the poem. There's 166 words in there. Each one, don't ignore any of them he said, right? So I'm just going to go back and do that. There might be something there. I might just be talking warm waters fishing regulations next month, for all I know. So I've got some text messages that
we have a message from Chris. He says, it doesn't matter who those crazy emailers think you are. It only matters who we all think you are.
Well, I keep myself sane by not imagining. Okay. Hi, it's Randy from the Midwest. Did Forrest say the only clue you can't solve at home is the last clue? If so, do you think that the last clue is wise and found the blaze, or do you think the last clue is brave and in the woods? I'm going to play this because I think it's appropriate. So Fenn said the little girl in India could only figure out the first two clues. Beginning where warm water salt, take it in the canyon down. The assumption is that you somehow have to be boots on the ground in order to lay sight upon the remaining clues. That doesn't mean, though, that you can't sit at home and imagine what they possibly could be, right? That's always the stance that we've taken. You could imagine what, what does your imagination tell you about put in below the Homer Brown? Your imagination tells you something, and you're not going to be able to validate it until you actually get boots on the ground. And I think that's what he means. And the simple fact of the matter is, we know from experience that there is no map that if these clues are non-man-made objects in the middle of the forest, you're not going to be able to see that on Google Earth. You have to be boots on the ground. And as I've said 100 times before, the difference between Google Earth and being boots on the ground in precisely the same location is going to be an eye-opening experience for you. So I think the last clue okay, so up until yesterday, I used to think that the last clue was look quickly down your quest to cease. That's what I believe the last clue to be. This is what again? Sorry, I haven't watched your show until Cindy showed up the Fenn X's on page 99. Please take a look at the link above. My solve has an X exactly there. Take a look. Sorry, bad typing skill. Don't worry about it. It's your solution, and you have as much fun with it as you can. Shelby and Telly, I'm taking your advice and diving back into the poem. In the beginning of Thrill of the Chase, Forrest mentioned that his mind stays about 13. In your opinion, should we be reading the poem as if we were written by a 13-year-old boy? And if so, doesn't this place the treasure in or near Yellowstone? I totally forgot to leave my name in the last text. It's coppered. Excuse me. My throat is going dry. So based on the conclusions that we came up to, we don't think that the poem is interpretable in that way. We don't believe that the poem has metaphors that tell you to go to Yellowstone or northern New Mexico, or what the book tells you, that the solution to the problem is in the poem. You don't have to go anyplace else. I'm starting to sound like Fenn now. It's in the poem. You don't have to go anyplace else. At the same time, it's not visible in the way the poem is printed. It's going to take some work to pull it out of there. That's what we think. So we're not making any assumptions. If I discover something inside those 166 words that tells me to go to Yellowstone, I will not only apologize to the community, but I will go to Yellowstone. But I don't know that yet, nor does anyone for that matter. None of us know it for certain, right?
Is A. Woodhull from Pittsburgh said, "Done it tired, yins have a good night."
Yeah, you're East Coasting it right now. Lou from Michigan says, 100% solved. Match the poem and book with all the other clues and the treasure. What is the quickest way to get with Forrest? Send a vague email, because I'm not sure that's really him. That's him. Trust me. I trust that you can give me the correct avenue to talk to him. Write him an email, forrestfenn@gmail.com. Please keep this message a secret for now. Thanks, Lou. We don't do that, Lou. We read all the messages.
No more secrets.
No more secrets.
Matt Brewer.
What? Matt,
Great
look
show.
at you.
Sent you guys an email with a Forrest Fenn quote telling us who he really is. Love to get your thoughts.
Well, we'll do that on Friday's show, Matt, because we are backed up as it is now.
I know, we only have 15 minutes left.
Oh, gosh. Hi, Toby and Shelley. This is Mike from Madison, Indiana. The second stanza has 2 sentences. How many clues do you see there? None. Me, begin at where warm waters halt and go down a canyon. It does not go far, but too far to walk. The first action is we are put in below the home of Brown. I think the chest is underwater near a calm river lake right before the canyon starts to narrow, causing the river to start churning. Thank you, sir. Those are good thoughts, huh? I'm glad that, no transcription available. Let's see if that's, hang on, let me, okay, no audio. Sherry from Pennsylvania, Sherry from Pennsylvania, hi, Toby and Shelley. Any thoughts if there are any clues in No Place for Old Biddies and the Gypsy Magic chapters of Thrill of the Chase? If so, any thoughts on what those clues may be? I can't figure out the chapters hold any clues. Thanks so much. In our, go ahead.
Oh, I was just reading Michael Hull's wondering if we're going to go searching. He keeps asking us that.
No, we're not going to be searching. We're not going to go searching for anything until I have enough evidence to convince me to tell my search partners we need to go searching. I don't have anywhere near that. Sherry, we don't believe there's anything in no place. They're interesting and fun stories. Sherry from Pennsylvania again, those nasty emails to you both that you just read online is making us very angry. Who are those nut jobs? Please don't stop your program because of those Looney Tunes. We'd miss you so. Sherry, I will be honest with you. We, up until this week, have never read the messages from the crazy birds that we get. We've just decided we're going to start reading them all.
Yeah.
So
maybe then they'll stop sending them.
Yeah.
What's up? Are we ready to?
Let's see. I only need this to the brackets. Oh, it's a voicemail.
Hey, Toby, this is Paul Ammons. I'm going through Santa Fe, and I was calling to see if we could do that coffee you talked about when I did that interview last year. Anyway, I'll holler back if you don't get this later.
Okay. Paul, I live in Bernalillo. I'm not sure if I did grow up in Santa Fe, but I live in Bernalillo. So if you ever find yourself Bernalillo way, give us a heads up, and there's a Starbucks right off I-25 that we can meet at and have coffee. Except on Wednesdays and Fridays because,
We're here.
From 623, tribal land seems like a big what if. Anyone have any legal answers for this if you misplaced an item or lost property on their land? If you misplaced an item or lost property on their land, it belongs to them. Don't screw with the tribes. You're just asking for it. And if you try to take anything that doesn't belong,
nation.
Yeah,
we understand that to mean sovereign nations stay off unless you are part of that tribe.
Right. And if you do take something from the tribal lands, you can be arrested and put in jail by the tribes. They have their own system of jurisprudence, and you can be tried and put in their jails for doing something like that. And I guarantee, and not only that, if you're driving a nice big Ford F-150 2019 in Muscatel red and silver, the Platinum Edition, they get to keep that. So don't do anything crazy. That's just asking. Have we got time for phones? Oh, DJ Novatech here. I didn't make the trip this past week. Oh, dadgummit. I have to do maintenance on my motorcycle. When I go, can we have a cup of coffee, a beer, anything? Same thing, DJ. I live in Bernalillo. I'm about, depending on Bernalillo traffic, 10 minutes from the Starbucks near the intersection of I-25 and what road is that?
550.
550. So if you find yourself at the
Somebody was locking their car and they hit the wrong button. Because I heard just a minute ago, they went beep.
That isn't mine.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, hang on.
There's a horn honking like an alarm.
I want to see if my alarm went off. My car alarm.
Why would it do that?
I don't know. Okay.
It stopped. Oh, look, money.
You know who it is?
Laddie Addy.
It's our next door neighbor. No, I mean the police officer next door. Laddie Addy.
Good night, TNS. Beautiful fishing picture.
Well, thank you. Okay, so I'm closing off the text messages.
Thrill of the Treasure says, this is for dealing with some of the emails you get, lol. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Thrill of the Treasure. You're awesome. Awesome sauce.
Thank you. I love at Starbucks in Bernalillo. I'll be there at 8 a.m. Oh, no, you can be there at 8 a.m.
By yourself.
But no.
The other Starbucks patrons.
Yeah.
Toby doesn't get up that early. And neither do I. But
I am not an early to rise kind of person since I left the military, okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's probably not enough heads up for it. So, what are you doing in Santa Fe? Anyway. Lou from Michigan. Okay. Email Forrest at Old Santa Fe Trading Company. Would really like to talk to someone ASAP. I work third shift in Michigan. Thanks again, Luis. You can contact Forrest. That's not... If you're using the old trading company, I don't think he uses that email. Forrest Fenn or Forrest Fenn at Earthlink doesn't, net.net use it. Use forrestfenn@gmail.com. If he wants to talk to you, he'll let you know. If you don't hear back from him, that is a good indication that he doesn't want to talk to you. Okay? Don't take offense. He gets a lot of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
Did we talk to Thrill of the Treasure?
I just read that while you were messing around with whatever you were doing.
Thrill of the Treasure. Go and subscribe to his channel immediatamente. He just gave us $25 in Apple iOS money.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We've got 10
10
minutes, so let's turn on the phone line for 10 minutes. You can call and argue with me. Okay, phone lines are open.
And Journeyman says, and keep it short.
and keep it short, yeah.
I think he's
we'll
talking
limit
to
your
you.
calls. Oh, me? Oh. You give me like a 3-minute. Put your timer on your. Give me 3 minutes.
Clock is right there.
Okay, but I can't watch it and talk at the same time. 866-597-9901. We got time for maybe 2 calls. 866-597-9901. Call in and talk with us.
Yeah,
and,
Jeff Anschultz, who's been donating money all night. You should call
Jeff.
in.
Yeah, Jeff, with all that, with all the donations you've made tonight. Here we go. How about that new ringer there? Who was complaining about my ringer?
You.
Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley. Who is this? Where are you calling from? And what's your question or comment?
Large pepperoni, extra cheese.
We'll get that right out to you. Do you want the special? Because we're doing a 2-for-1 special. Large pepperoni, extra cheese.
Did they hang up?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, next time, use the app. There's an app for that.
Use the app. You don't have to call us.
Oh, we
All
got
right.
another $5 from Matt Brewer.
Is that?
Wait, is that new or?
Sent you guys an email with. No,
Oh,
that's
never mind.
not it. We're taking back that. I'm way.
I can't undo a
Okay, hang on.
ka-ching. Somebody else will just have to give money.
Okay, let me really quick. So the phone lines are open. The pizza line.
Sassy, you are welcome to call in.
Pizza line is closed. Let me see what Matt sent. So Matt, we'll take a look. I got it. Okay. So Matt, we'll read that one on Friday because I know you've always got some great stuff. So yeah, we're out of time, as you can tell. You want me to call in with the pages info? Yeah, that was for that lady that asked, Sassy. Call in and let's at least answer her question. Because you said you saw some bold text on some pages
Music
in one of the
lyric
chats.
says, if I'm in Bernalillo, I'll take that coffee.
Yeah, just let us know. Give us a little bit of advance warning as
warning.
opposed to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Jeez, I'm still in dreamland at 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm,
I haven't
me
taken my
too.
share of that.
Got to give us warning. Yep.
Okay,
There
here's
she
Sassy.
is.
Hey, Sassy, what are you up to?
Hello.
So, did you listen to that question that we got from that one woman?
Yeah, so what I wanted to, I'll just run through this real quick.
Okay.
That way it's on record. People can go look it up for themselves.
Okay.
So, using bold as the keyword, I went through, and in the text of the book, not in chapter titles or special art or anything like that, just in the text. There's 4 places in the book where there is red, bold letters.
Huh.
2 of them, one of them's on page 109 and 111, and they're in all caps and say, do not touch. Those are the 2 instructions. It means do not touch the capital letters. The other 2 places that it occurs, one is on page 128, and then I got a cancer. It's the only place in the book where they use a drop cap in the middle of a chapter and not the start of a chapter.
Oh, that's what she's talking about, yeah.
And then the second sentence is on page 141. Cancer is a terrible word. They both have the drop caps, so you leave those in place. For the word, and then I got a cancer, you then anagram everything but the first letter A, and you get a car can't go in the end.
That's
and then
right
the
there.
other one, The other one, when you anagram it, has a literary reference that's mentioned in the book.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say what it is because I want people to go look for it themselves.
Yeah, well,
have fun with it.
what she wanted to do was find out what you had said when you had said it. And I think you've done that for her. That was very kind of you. And now
anybody can play with it. The only two places in the book that the red letter boldface type is used. And the fact that one of them occurs in the middle of a chapter when all the other chapters, the drop caps are only on the first page, is an oddity. The fact that those sentences are in red, bold letters is also an oddity. It's like that in other versions of the book. I did solicit people to check their versions. It's not just my version.
Okay.
So
Sakar says, don't tell Sassy there are 3 instances where a drop cap happens to be in the middle of the page in the book. Oh, I'm not supposed to tell you that. I'm sorry, Sakar. Dang nabbit. Hey, so let me ask you a quick question while you're on the line.
Whatever.
What do you think about my new theory that you have to disassemble the 166 words in the poem to figure out where the treasure is?
I think that's overcomplicated.
Too tough, huh?
I think it's still too far out of the box.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for your opinion. Thank you for sharing your opinion. I asked.
It's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking that, the first part of it's really obvious, and a lot of people have been in this general area, and that it's just the pinpointing that final step of under which rock or, behind what waterfall or whatever, that last little pinpoint that nobody's gotten.
Yeah.
I think people have absolutely scoured the area where it is, though.
Yeah. You think they've been there, huh? Closer than 200 feet?
Probably. I mean, I don't know, I have watched and listened to and read different people's versions of their search of this area, and none of them are searching places that I would look. So whatever,
So whatever.
That's just me, though.
Yeah.
It is nice.
Yeah. All right, Miss Sassy, we're going to let you go.
My personal opinion.
No, and that's what it's all about,
Okay.
right? It's all our opinions, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
All right, talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Thanks for
Bye.
calling in. Let's see. This is from 623. 623, do me a favor. I will read your last text message if you'll send another text message with your first name and the state in which you are located, because those are my rules. Those are Toby's rules.
He's going to enforce his rules
He's going to
tonight.
enforce the rules tonight. Okay, so we're coming to the end of our show.
Well, while we're waiting, do you want to play the lead searcher video? We'll tell you who our lead searcher
Heck
is.
yes, let's do that.
All right.
So I know where you got those drone shots.
Yeah.
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 They have a lot of good drone shots, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I'll contribute.
That's right. All right. So for May, those who plan to go out and get that treasure and bring it home, we have Mr. T, Davio, Bo Walker, Rudy Green, Robert Nenig, Clayton Watson, and Cynthia Meacham. In June, we have Sheila Draper, John Ito, S.J. Kent, Evan Penn, Jana Minnesota, Jeff Anschultz, Christy K-Pro, and Mike Cowling. Cal is ours.
Because they're a team.
CMC, Mark Connor, Mitzi Moore, J.A. Street, and Denise Baker. Those are for June. July is A Muse in the Craft Room and Anonymous Searcher. August, we have Walking Among Lions. September, Alan Kay. October, A. Woodhall and Jason Northface. And then I have 3 names who I don't have a month for: Steve Wayne, Jerry from Texas, and Casey from Idaho. If you would like to be added to the I Know Where the Treasure Is and I'm Getting It This Summer list, just give me your name and the month you're going to be bringing that treasure home.
Joshua says I'm the lead jerk, so it YouTube, because he said jerk. Oh, he deleted it. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm going to turn off the phone because we were limiting calls tonight. Geez, had a busy night, huh?
Busy.
Oh, here's JF. This is Jason from Arizona. He says, if you are willing to get info for me about tribal law in this search, I would be willing to divulge my 3 backing pieces supporting evidence as well as the double hints and my full solution for 50% of the take. Jason, I am least of all a tribal law expert. I just know what is wise. If you're concerned about tribal law, call the tribes. They all have government offices. Call them, ask for the sheriff, and ask him how they feel about people taking things from tribal. You don't have to trust me for it. Ask them. They'll be happy to tell you. And I'm not looking for the treasure, so and the last thing I would do, honestly, is go. There is nothing you could say to convince me to go look for Fenn's treasure on tribal land. Nothing. Sorry.
It's bad enough if you try to take dirt.
Yeah, I made that mistake once. So did I ever tell?
That.
So I was traveling through Zia Pueblo. I was on my way up to the Jemez to go fishing, and I stopped at there's a little park there right off the Zia Pueblo, and it's a parking area, like a tourist area, and they sell foodstuffs and trinkets and Native American made products. And the earth there is very bright red. And I took an empty water bottle and I started putting it in the water, putting some of this dirt in the water bottle, because my daughter is a retablo artist and they use natural pigments, and I thought she'd love this color of red. And a tribal officer came up to me and stopped me, and he said, "I'm only stopping you because if you continue, I'm going to arrest you and put you in jail." And I said, "For what?" And he said, "Taking our land." Lesson learned, sir. Let me dump that out. Another time I was shooting, I don't know whether any of you saw that short documentary that I did, My Father's Hands, My Mother's Heart, that I did about my son Jason. And I was coming back from one of the fairs he had been at, and I was driving through an area of the Rio Grande that it was autumn and were the beautiful colors. And so I found a place to park, launched a drone, started flying it, getting some footage of the Rio Grande flowing through these woods, these autumn deciduous trees along the Rio Grande. And man, a sheriff drives up and he had his gun drawn. He was pointing it at my drone, and he says, "If you don't land that, I'm going to shoot it down." Now, you'd have to be a pretty good shot to shoot a drone down. He was carrying it. It was funny because he was carrying a .357 Magnum with a 4-inch barrel. I remember it distinctly. And so before I knew it, there were 4 other cars there. They were having a discussion of whether to have me taken in because flying over their land is an offense. It's worse than in the national parks, apparently. I eventually convinced them that I wasn't doing them any damage. They thought I was actually doing drone work to find special places, special burial places that I could then come and raid afterwards. And when I showed them the pictures that I was just trying to get some foliage with Albuquerque in the background, and I was at an altitude that wouldn't have given me that kind of detail, they let me go. So
that and the license plate on your truck helped.
Oh, yeah. One of the officers who had served in Afghanistan noticed that my license plate was a disabled veteran's license plate, so he said to them, they checked my license, and my license is clean, squeaky clean, actually. And so they decided it'd be better to let this poor disabled veteran go. I'm not making fun. I was very grateful to them for having done that and not confiscated my drill. Okay, another Toby story.
Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw 'em on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana.
Quick rundown. What's happening the rest of the week?
We'll see you on Friday, 1 o'clock for our Fandango lead-in. And then again that night, 7 o'clock for Friday Fandango.
Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow.
So whatever emails and text messages we didn't read tonight, we'll read then. And I promise you on Friday night, we'll leave more time for the phone. I'll leave at least an hour so we can call in. Although we weren't getting a lot of call pressure tonight anyway. Maybe I'll have some more input to you on this new theory of mine, all right? Until then.
Or Gypsy's Kiss. I'm Shelley Carney.
And I'm Toby Younis. I'm not going to do that.